Howdy, folks. I'm a vivacious violet violin visualizing venomous vegetation.
I'm Amber.
And here's more venomous vegetation for us to visualize.
I wanted to have vivisect instead of visualize, but Brian thought it wasn't family friendly enough.
I wonder why that could why could that possibly be not family friendly? This isn't the island of Dr. Moreau, Amber. Oh no. We aren't in Jurassic Park, Amber. We're not creating new species by vivisecting creatures. Let's get started before we have even more bizarre things happen. Alright, folks, our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Throwing My Wife's Things Away? For context, I'm a 35-year-old male, and I've been together with my wife, a 35-year-old female, for 8 years, and I love her dearly. Her mother, my mother-in-law, passed away in January. They were close, and it's been hard on her, especially as her dad passed away a long time ago when she was little and she doesn't have any siblings. She feels like she needs to keep her family history alive, which has led into a hoarding situation. Basically, when her mother passed, my wife had a hard time letting go. We emptied mother-in-law's house and managed to sell it, but my wife insisted on keeping several boxes of family heirlooms, dishware, lamps, books, etc. Mostly useless things, but important to her. And ordinary things that belong to her mother. Dresses, shoes, pillows, albums, etc. For months, these boxes filled our storage room, an entire wall of our living room, one corner of my office, 2 kitchen cabinets, and our shed. I get that she's sad, but I've repeatedly asked her to sort through the boxes because we can't keep living like this. She said that she wasn't ready to throw/give away things that had been so dear to her mother and asked me to give her more time. Mind you, her mother died in January, so it's been months already. Yesterday, when she was at work, I had finally had enough. I went through the boxes myself. I threw away everything that was useless and burnt everything. But photos that were made out of paper or similar material. I managed to empty out the shed and clear out my office of her things. I did expect her to be a little upset, but she went livid when she got home. She kept crying for hours and hours and wouldn't speak to me. Now she's saying that she wants me to go to my parents because she can't stand to look at me. I pointed out that we own this house together and that she just can't kick me out. I understand that she needs time, but I need my living space. And ultimately, I was just trying to help her move on. OP, the altruistic one. So Reddit, am I the jerk? Edit, okay, I want to clear some things up. I didn't throw away everything. I only cleaned up the shed and my office, the 2 places that I use the most. She still has plenty of boxes elsewhere in the house. And I didn't burn everything either. We have a fireplace and I only burnt some papers, not things like photos. Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk? After he burnt only some things, everything to just some things.
Yeah, you are a major jerk here, OP, and I do not blame your wife at all if she wants to divorce you after this.
Oh, do tell me more. Why would he be the jerk in this situation? What burning stuff could not possibly make him a jerk?
Your wife lost her mother only 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And I know that to you, who it sounds like has 2 living parents, that might seem like an exorbitant amount of time. But your wife has lost the last connection she had to her family.
Yeah.
Her mother she was very dear to. Grief is not something that you just accelerate along by throwing away everything. Like, if anything, that's just going to traumatize her and make it that much harder because she no longer has that connection. And like the burning all these random papers, like were there family trees, were there like birth records and other important documents. It sounds like anything that wasn't photos, you're just like, this is important to me. I just gotta have my shed, so let's just throw it in the fireplace.
I think OP, a better way of dealing with the situation might have been getting a storage unit.
Yeah, exactly.
Transporting the boxes out there and then telling your wife that whenever she's ready to look at this stuff and go through it, it's out there and she can go through it then. And I think that would have been a much better way of handling this situation, a much less destructive way.
Right. If there's just too much clutter in your way, then it would be perfectly acceptable to ask her to keep it in a storage locker for a little while. until she's ready to go through it. But you do not get to decide what is and isn't important to her.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you are way more concerned with having your office nice and convenient to you than you are with your wife's mental health.
Yeah.
You seem to think she should just already be over her mother's death when that's not how grief works.
No, and that's not how grief works at all. And it's just really unfortunate because OP took a situation and just inflamed it and made it that much worse. And I just feel so bad for his wife in this situation. And I mean, you'll get plenty of space in the house when she's divorced you.
Well, and then on top of that, he won't even go and stay at his parents. Like, reminder, OP, she doesn't have parents. Hers are dead. Like, one of you has to leave the house for a little while. It might as well be the person who torched her belongings.
Yeah. So I know OP thinks this isn't that big of a deal, but it's a bigger deal than what they realize. And they're about to find out how big of a deal it is. Let me know what you folks think, though. Anyhow, take care and good luck.
With the divorce, but not you to your wife.
Alright, folks, our next letter is titled, Will I Be a Jerk If I Reject My Husband's Gift? My husband is 28 and I'm a 27-year-old female, and we have birthdays during the same week. I'm big on birthdays, so for my husband, I often go all out. And he does a great job with my birthday most of the time. I don't expect the same level as I give because I know I do a lot. For my husband's birthday this year, I threw a big party for him. People flew in from other states, and I got it catered, and it was so fun. I also spent a lot of money and time on it. I was planning it for months. I also got him a very nice gift that is something that he will definitely use. He showed everyone at the party because it was really perfect. So my birthday comes, and I wake up, and he's golfing. Then he gets home and tells me the plan for my birthday is to go to a bakery and a bookstore. I was starving, so we get brunch first. Then we go to the bookstore and I left my credit card at work, so I had no money, and I asked him to get a book for me for my birthday, and he originally said no, but eventually relented. Then we go to the bakery and I got a coffee and a few treats. It was kind of serve yourself type of place, and every time I picked up an item, he got annoyed about the cost and made a comment. It was not an expensive bakery. The average item cost was $2 to $3, and I got like 3 items. We also got a slice of cake to share. I went to the bathroom and I got back and he had eaten most of the cake. The day was very nice, but I was kind of sad about the lack of effort and the constant complaining about the cost of things. Now is a good time to mention that we don't struggle with money in the slightest. Then he mentions my birthday present. I was very clear on what I wanted for my birthday. Tickets to my favorite artist. And no, not Taylor Swift. I told him like 5 times. You could get very seats for about $60 to $70 per person. So he tells me that I'll gift my gift on Friday, and it's an event, and he wants to keep it a surprise. And Friday is the day of the concert, so I get super excited expecting tickets. Well, long story short, I find out that my gift is attending a baseball game. I was immediately annoyed because I hate baseball. Sorry, baseball fans. Everyone knows that I hate baseball, and he also hates it. I would rather just not get a gift at all than pretend to enjoy sitting through a whole baseball game. So will I be a jerk if I told him that I don't want my gift? Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
No, you will not be the jerk. Honestly, what is up with your partner? Like, he invites you to go to a bookstore and a bakery, and then is like, oh, wow, you're expecting me to buy things for you? That was your birthday trip, your birthday present. And then, like, on top of that, he gets you a gift that he knows you hate.
Yeah.
And you say, it sounds like in the past he's been good at getting gifts, so this is very out of the blue. So I think the only thing to do at this point in time is have a sit down with him and kind of calmly ask him what is going through your head. Because to me, it sounds like either he does not care about you anymore and is like just trying to get you to break up with him or something, or he, I don't know, maybe forgot last minute and had some free baseball tickets coming in. I don't really know.
Yeah, I'm really wondering about this whole thing. It does seem like the baseball game was kind of a secondary type thought. Maybe he was getting these as a free gift and he thought, oh, I'll pass this off as a birthday gift. I don't know. OP, you were very clear about what you wanted for your birthday. He didn't have to put in the same kind of effort that you put into his birthday, and I can tell that this is eating you up a lot because you feel a lot of resentment towards the lack of effort that he put into this, or didn't put into it. And that's actually, I think, a really understandable feeling to have. I think that potentially sitting down, like Amber suggested, and having a conversation would be a good approach to this. There may even be a place for couples counseling here, because this is just so kind of out of the blue that maybe there is some deeper issues going on here, and having a third party kind of moderate that discussion might be a good way to go. So I don't think that that would be a bad idea. You could have bought those tickets for yourself if you had really wanted to go to that concert and you thought that he was going to get that for you for your birthday. So the least he could have done is tell you that he wasn't going to get you those tickets, because then you could have gone and enjoyed. Maybe he just really dislikes whatever artist that you're seeing and he didn't want to be dragged along to it. But that's really selfish anyways, because they could have invited someone else.
This entire thing just reeks of self-centeredness, and like it's what makes me wonder if like he's having an affair or something.
Yeah.
Because just the level of not even like lack of thought, but active hostility.
Yeah, it's almost like OP is a burden to him. Like, oh, you're spending all my money here, and here, have some free baseball tickets.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm wondering if he's saving for someone else or something, and now is just like sick of having to do things for his wife of all people.
Yeah, because give me a break. I think that this is just an extremely low effort thing, no effort, and it really does signal that there might be some deeper issues, I think. So let me know what you folks think, though. Anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, our next letter is titled, "Am I the jerk for telling my brother that his adoptive son will never be a part of our family? My brother got remarried a few years ago. He also has a 14-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. His wife is infertile, so they decided to adopt a baby boy. A few days ago, my niece showed up at my home while crying her eyes out. She had a suitcase next to her. She told me that her dad asked her to pack all of her stuff because she is going to live with her mom from now on. She packed her stuff and came here instead because she doesn't get along with her mom. To say that I was fuming is an understatement. I comforted her for a little while, and then I asked my wife to look after her while I went to my brother's house. I admit I lost my temper and we got into a fight. He thinks that I'm overreacting and told me that his daughter has been hostile towards their son, which is why he did this, and said that she will spend every weekend with them. He said that he just wants to start fresh with a new family. I told him that he can have his new family, but then he and his son are no longer a part of our family and will never be. I then contacted all of our extended family and let them know about what happened. Yesterday was his son's welcoming party, in which he wanted to introduce his son to everyone, and apparently nobody showed up. Now he thinks that we are all jerks for not treating his son like family and keeps asking us if we would behave the same way if this was his bio son. Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk, because of what's happening here. Like, children are not toys that you just get rid of when you get tired of them. This whole idea of starting fresh with a new family is gross on so many levels. And you're not saying that you don't want his adopted son to be part of your family because you're adopted. You're saying that because he's kicking out his other child, the rest of his family is no longer welcome.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that OP would say the same thing if his brother had a child with the woman that he's currently in a relationship with instead and kicked his daughter out. I think if that had been the case, it would still be OP being like, yeah, we're going to reject you as family.
Yeah, hopefully that would be the case, because the paternity of the child shouldn't matter. The important thing here is that he is taking an existing child and trying to throw her into a terrible situation because she's an inconvenience to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very, very common for, especially an older child who's been an only child for so long, all of a sudden has a little sibling, that they're, not going to just be like all happy and smiles over this. Like, you have to expect there's going to be an adjustment period.
Yeah.
And especially if she feels like she's being ignored in favor of the new baby, which, I think is coming across pretty clearly. That's a really hard adjustment.
Yeah, and I think it depends on certain levels too. Like, say, for instance, she was actually being violent to this kid, then at that point in time, I think that there does need to be some kind of escalation. I don't know that he needs to, because, like, you of course don't want a kid in danger, right? But I think OP would have told us if there was some kind of violence. If it might just be that they're not getting along well or something like that. But if she's actually acting violent towards the kid, then I think that would completely change the dynamic of this. I just wanted to kind of point that out.
But assuming that it's normal sibling rivalry and just resentment over feeling replaced, you gotta expect that's gonna happen, and you have to make a greater effort for your kid you already have to make sure they still feel included. And it sounds like OP's brother has done everything, but he's been so focused on his new family. He just wants to have this life with his new family. And that's such a gross attitude. Like, again, kids are not expendable. Your kid is a lifetime commitment.
Yeah. So let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she's got a joke.
What deal did the shopkeeper have for the broken violin?
I can tell you exactly what deal the shop owner had for the violin. They had a 2-for-1 deal, and it was for Bernard the Unhinged, who came along and had broken one violin, and now they got a second broken violin. But that's all right, because they can watch the world burn while playing the violin anyways.
Free, no strings attached.
Free, no strings attached. Yeah, basically what I said. 2-for-1 deal, right? And I have Earl Grey. Oh yeah, and before we end tea time, Amber, she has a important thing that she wants to say.
Yes, so my short story, The Doll, has been accepted into Horoscopes Volume 3. It's a set of Zodiac-themed horror and dark fantasy stories, so Volume 3 is specifically horror, and if you like possessed dolls, then you'll definitely want to check it out.
Yeah, so congratulations to Amber on that.
Thank you, and it releases, I believe, October 20th, and I think the other anthology I'm in comes out October 13th, so they're like back-to-back practically. So, yeah, it's going to be an exciting October for me.
All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday, Junior.
Happy Friday, Junior.
Thanks to Amber for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice. We need some kind of guidance. And please, please, have it a note that you might find on a very bad gift.
I know this isn't what you wanted for your birthday, but at least it's not free baseball tickets.
You know, if you're ever wondering about what to put on a gift tag, that's what you put on a gift tag. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Bye.